Hello, female coaches and consultants out there. I am so excited because today I want to share with you what I learned from Shark Tank. How many of you out there love Shark Tank? In the comments below, put love it. I can tell you, it is a guilty pleasure. My husband and my daughter, who's 10, and I love to sit there and watch it. And we've been watching it for years. But this past week, something really landed with me like never before. And I want to share it with you because I love helping women. If you're listening, I know that you are an amazing woman that has gifts to share with the world. And yet you're struggling with next level growth because you're struggling with sales and money and your worth. And these three keys that I'm going to give to you today that I've learned in watching Shark Tank for so many years could be a game changer for you. So anyway, so this past week we were watching Shark Tank and two men were come up on the stage and they have these like neon bright shirts. And my first reaction was, oh my gosh, those shirts are so ugly, right? I hate to tell you, but that's what I was thinking. And the one guy had like this big old beard, and I can't say that they really had this like magnetic presence. But they began to share. And what they were there to share was a widget or a thing or a product. Now, I know many of you listening, you don't have a widget that you're selling. You're selling a service. But listen, keep on listening. So they show this little thing and they have a washer and dryer. And the widget, it was called like the fur grabber or something, had the ability to like take the fur from your pet hair off your clothing. And they had like a before and after. Like, who doesn't love a before and after? So here I turned to my husband and he's like, we need to get one. I had already picked up my phone and I'm on Amazon looking up the name of this thing because I wanted it so bad. We have 3 cats and cat hair with 3 long-haired cats. Let me tell you, it's a problem. Like we stuff up, we go through vacuum cleaners like you would not believe because the fur problem in the shoe household. All right. So how fast did the presentation? The presentation hadn't even ended and I'm on my cell phone looking, how can I buy it? Okay. So why do I share this with you? Well, they had one of the keys. And one of the keys is they had a hook. They had a hook. They had a problem and solution, and it was so crystal clear. If you have pet hair on your clothing, here's the widget that will make all the difference in the world for you. And I had never heard of anything like it. All right. So that's the one key is you need a hook. You need to solve a problem. And the solution is so clear that it magnetizes buyers. But what if your product is like you're a health coach? How many health coaches are out there? You are a wealth coach. You are a hormone coach. You're a sales coach. You're a relationship coach. Wow. The industry, it's getting more and more competitive, isn't it? It's getting harder and harder to stand out. So even if you're crystal clear on here's the pain and here's how I solve it, you'll need to draw out how uniquely do you solve that problem. So this is where the other 2 keys come in. And the first key is your presence. How do you show up when you're sharing? Do you show up with high energy, with flat energy, or with low energy? Because I will tell you, after watching Shark Tank for so many years, a person's presence makes such a difference. I have seen the sharks say yes to deals just because of person's personality and their presence. And I kind of clump them together. So I'm curious, how are you showing up in sharing your message? In the chat, if you're following, go ahead and put presence because your presence makes such a difference. It's the difference between like memorizing, for example, I help women with high ticket sales, right? And so we do a lot of training on selling, and actually I say sharing And a lot of that training is around the presence. Who are you being before you jump on a sales call, right? Because I can give you the script to memorize. And yet who you're being will make all the difference. Let's face it, women, two guys ask you on the date and they have the same line. And one you're drawn to and the other you're not. Okay, presence is so important. We know in communication that your presence, your body language means so much more than what you say. So you might have the best unique selling product in the world, but if you don't bring that presence, your unique presence, you don't need to be so extroverted like I can be. You might have a calm presence. You might be soft, right? So you don't have to be loud and rambunctious like I can be. It's more about who are you being? Are you being there to serve your ideal client, your dream client? What presence do you bring to your business? It's the difference between the shark saying yes and saying no. And I'm always amazed at how these sharks will say yes to people when all of the other things don't even line up like you would think they would. So your personality and your presence makes such a big difference. So we have presence and personality. We already went into the hook, right? They had a problem and I had a problem, pet hair on my sweaters and my clothing. They had a solution for that. Buy our widget, throw it in your washing machine, and the hair is gone. That's simple. I was ready to buy like that, right? They had me hooked, right? And I can tell you their presence wasn't magnetic. These were like everyday guys. They had the neon t-shirt. They weren't particularly well dressed, right? But the thing that will also have you stand out in the marketplace is your story. We've got two coaches, two health coaches. Both of these women help with reclaiming healthy hormones. Who are you going to choose? Well, if they are willing, they both have great presence. One might be more of an extrovert, one might be an introvert. Doesn't matter, okay? At the end of the day, your story makes such a difference because you know what? We are creatures that love a good story. And so the story of your business and how you came to be, of why you do what you do, can be the difference between a yes and a no. So I really want this week for you to be thinking about what is the story of my business. You know, many female coaches and consultants, they became whatever it is that they are. If they're a relationship, when you look at their history, there was a turning point in their life where their life never looked the same. And they learned something so profound that they now are sharing it with others so that they can have the best relationships in their lives. And so being able to learn how to be an amazing storyteller, just adding that to your edge can make all the difference. So let's see here. What are the three things? Your persona, your personality. Some might say your state, right? Your energy, what you bring. You got to have great state and presence and personality. You've got to, number two, have a great story. And number three, you got to hook them. You've got to clearly define what is the problem and how are you going to solve it. So those are the three keys that I have learned on Shark Tank that has made all the difference between the sharks saying yes and no. And if you have all three, you really are putting yourself to have that edge to get the yes. So we go live every Wednesday. We actually have a Facebook challenge coming up, and it's at the end of the month. I'm so excited to teach women how to close like a queen. So stay tuned. We're going to be coming out with the details of how you can participate in that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And in the meantime, if you would love to up-level your sales, I'd love to jump on a call with you with a sales strategy call. And normally this is valued at $997. We just opened up my schedule for a few spots. So if you're listening to this right now, we may or may not still have a spot for you. But if you're ready to make more money and close more sales and get paid what you're worth as a woman, let's jump on a sales strategy breakthrough call and see how I might help you to up level to create the business of your dreams. I'm Dr. Kelly Martin Chu signing off. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Thanks.